A record tax cut, nearly $1 billion for schools, plus a freeze on tuition. The Senate passes the new biennium budget this week from the Ohio Senate. After more than 8 hours of debate on the Senate floor, this 4,000-plus page document is now passed by the Senate. This is the actual Senate budget bill. Inside, across-the-board tax cuts across every tax bracket of 6.3%, $1.7 billion worth of tax cuts. Also, a 2-year freeze on college tuition and $240 million more for higher education. It is something the Senate President, Keith Faber, is very proud of.
First of all, I'm proud of the Senate and my colleagues. We took a tough stand. We wanted to reduce state spending. We wanted to make sure we returned what wasn't essential to the taxpayers.
The budget invests heavily in education, making a $240 million commitment to higher ed, combined with the 2-year tuition freeze, and universities answering President Faber's challenge to find 5% savings within their own budget.
Probably the key word is not just affordability and investment, it's opportunity. We have students now who will want to stay in Ohio because they have an opportunity for a more affordable college education, which will then yield to more job opportunities here in this state.
The Senate invests nearly $1 billion, $935 million into K-12 education. All of Ohio's 614 districts will receive at least the same amount of funding they did this school year. The Senate's mission is to fund students with a per-pupil-based formula. With that, the goal is to transition more districts from caps and guarantees. Caps limit the amount of funding a growing district receives, while guarantees grant a district losing students the same level of funding.
We, again, are trying to get sustainability and structural balance in the school funding formula, and even with a guarantee, the number of districts on a guarantee are drastically reduced from current state law provisions, and are only about 100 districts out of the well over 600 districts will be on a guarantee by the end of fiscal 17 with this budget proposal that we have, and I believe most school funding experts should say that's a victory.
A victory for stressed out parents, students, and teachers. The budget bill includes recommendations from the Senate Testing Advisory Committee, reducing the statewide achievement test to just once a year.
The message is very clear to the legislature that they want it shorter, they want it in one window, they want better technology, a couple of other suggestions, but I think we're going to see a much better environment next year.
The budget bill provides a record tax cut, cutting every Ohioan's income tax bracket by 6.3%. Small businesses also would pay no tax on the first $250,000 of revenue, and anything over that would be taxed at a flat 3%.
3% after that. Remember, the big businesses don't pay any of this. Small businesses also need to be moved towards that level playing field. It is going to make a difference. 70% of the jobs in this state are created by small businesses. This is trying to put them in a position to grow and be successful.
The Senate strived for a responsible, solvent, and sustainable budget, which instead of spending billions more, sends $1.75 billion back to the taxpayers.
But in the end, I always side on the side of you keeping more of your money because you're going to invest it and spend it better on your family.
And from here, this 4,000-page document goes to what is called a conference committee, 6 members, 3 from the House, 3 from the Senate, that will iron out all the changes to come together with one uniform bill. For all the very latest changes on where the budget document stands, you can tune into our social media channels. That is at Ohio Senate GOP, at Ohio Senate GOP. You can also find it on the web, and that is ohiosenate.gov/Republicans. And remember, by law, this budget has to be signed into law by the governor by the end of business on June 30th. I'm John Fortney from the Ohio Senate.